So the last tumbler I did was the resin over an acrylic tumbler, and I had a little bit of a problem with the turner because I tried to use a little football and it didn't quite fit in there. So I've made a new foamy, which I used a pool noodle and a rubber glove, real high tech, and I just cut it off and I've put it on here. So this is what we're going to use. Fits much tighter into here. This is my Americana kind of Independence Day tumbler that I made last year. If you look through my videos, you can find it in there. And we're going to get started on this. We can see what kind of disaster I can do with this one. Right, so I've got my tumbler on the turner. I've sanded it like I did in the last video with just a very fine grit sandpaper. We've added our silicone guard. I've mixed up 20 ml of epoxy resin, and now we're going to start. So I'm going to cover this whole thing with a very thin coat of epoxy resin, and hopefully my turner solution works. It seems to be a little more stable this time, so hopefully I don't have a mess like I did on the last one. Let's keep our fingers crossed. So the last one I did 30 ml of epoxy resin. I think that was a little much, so I've only put 20 on this one. Hopefully that's enough. 30 was too much, maybe 20 won't be enough. Maybe the magic number is 25, I don't know. I think 20 should be good. Got a little bit of a thick spot here, so we're gonna wipe that off. Make sure we got it fully covered. And then we'll start with our alcohol inks. Now, if you're just trying to seal in a sticker or a decal, you don't have to do anything else. I think you should just be able to do this. But I'm going to do this again with some alcohol ink and see where we get. If you have trouble with bubbles forming on this, get a creme brulee torch and just give it a little shot with the creme brulee torch. I am going to try to update all of my links for Amazon and just put them on every video. So I get quite a few people asking me where to buy stuff, and I don't put them on every video, but I really should. So I'm going to work on that. It's going to take me a while. I think I've got about 160 videos, so I'm going to try to add them to each one, but that will take me a few days to do. Alright, so next we're going to add our alcohol ink, and I'm also going to add some of this. This is like one of my favorite things, is this interference powder from Let's Resin. It's so much fun, and it just looks like white, but once you put it onto something, it turns the most beautiful iridescent. So I'm going to use the blue today. I'm going to start with this. Just going to put a little bit on, a little bit at the top, a little bit at the bottom. I don't want to cover this tumbler too much. The last one I did, I put a little bit too much stuff on it, and then you couldn't see what was underneath, like the glitter inside. Well, it was actually the Orbeez tumbler, but you couldn't see the Orbeez anymore because I had put just way too much stuff on it, which is fine. That's an experiment, and that's what we do here. All right, so I'm going to add, I've got some blue alcohol ink, and I think I've also got some silver. I think I'm going to drag that silver out because this cup is kind of red, silver, and blue. So let's see if I've got that silver here still. I think I do. I don't think I've even used it. Got pearl. Not what I'm looking for, though. Where are you, silver? I don't have silver. I did. There it is. Silver. So this is silver metallic alcohol ink. So I can link this in the description as well. I'm going to try this, and we're going to do some blue. And if I can find some red, we'll do that as well here. And of course, we're going to have some white, but I don't want to overdo this. And we've got some red, which I've probably never used. No, I have. Okay, let's drip a little bit here. I prefer, instead of doing just big drips, I like to just tap these on the back. You get a little flick instead of a big drip. I don't want this to be all, I don't want it to be too much, too covered. I'm going to do a bit at the top and a bit at the bottom, and that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to do the middle at all, and we'll see how much transfers over there. And we're going to do some blue. We're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to try to flick it. Because when you get a big drip, see how it runs? Which is a look as well, but I want this to be just a little different. I'm bringing back the red again. Just going to wait till this goes around. I'm going to put a little bit of red. I'm going to do one little bit of red right there, if I can get that down. And a little right here. Whoops, it was a little more than I wanted. It's all right. Okay. I'm going to add a little teeny bit of this silvery color. It's a metallic silvery. Let's see how dark this is. Hopefully it's not too dark. No, it's kind of white, so we're good. Just going to do a couple drops of this here and there. It's very liquidy. Probably going to need a little more red pigment here, I think, but we'll see. Okay, now we're going to get our white. Give that a good shake. That should make those colors already put down pop a bit. Might have to do some flicking with this now too. We may have to add a little more ink. That's what's so fun about making these tumblers. You never quite know what you're going to get with what you've put down. It's always kind of a new fun surprise. I'm going to go back to the blue here, and I'm going to get my red out again here. A little drop of red. Whoops. Oh, that looks really cool. That was a little bit too big of a drip. It's okay. Whoops, and I did it again. And we're going to do the blue here now too. And I should have a glove on this hand, but I don't. You should always wear gloves when you're doing this stuff. Some of this stuff's toxic. I have a glove on the hand I'm not using. Okay, we're gonna let that spin for a couple minutes, and then may add some more red here. We'll see. I'll add a little more red right there. Ooh, that might turn purple with the blue. Of course, I can't leave anything alone. Oh, I like that. Okay, we got a big drip of blue there. It was a little too big of a drip, but I think it looks really nice. See, with this, you're going to get a little more movement. Had I added the 30 ml of the resin, you're going to get a little more movement because then there's a little more of the epoxy to move. But I think this is going to give me the look I want, which is kind of in the middle. I want it to be clear with just a little bit of the alcohol ink with the glitter still showing through it. So I'm going to let this turn until tomorrow, and then I'll be back and we'll see what it looks like. And I think I've solved the turner problem with it being tilted. It's really hard to tell sometimes, but it was funny on the last video. I couldn't see in person that that was certainly going to fall off the tumbler, but as soon as I turned the video on to edit it, I'm like, oh my, that's going to fall off, but it was already too late. So, but we'll be back tomorrow to finish this off. Hope you guys like this. I think it's going to be a fun one. Let me know what you think. Do you like this idea? Do you think this is going to work? Do you think that it's a good idea to resin over an acrylic tumbler? I don't really know. I'm just doing this because I've had people requesting me to do it. And I always love your guys' requests. Please request whatever you feel like, and I will try to get to it. I only have so much time, but I definitely love your requests, so please keep doing them. I really enjoy it. It gives me ideas, and I love having fun doing this. So we'll be back tomorrow to show you what this looks like. Right, so it's the next day, and I've got my cup off the turner, and it looks absolutely fabulous. Look at that. It did slide off this foamy a little bit, but it didn't shift or anything, so we're good. So what do you guys think of this? Pretty cool. You have to ignore the noise in the background. They're building a new house next door, and that's all you hear all day is that generator. But pretty nifty. I'm pretty happy with this. This is pretty cool. Look at that. What do you guys think of this? Think this is great? You think it's horrible? I really like this. You can still get your glitter flowing in the background. I'm super happy with this. I'm going to be making some more of these. This is so much fun. And also I'm thinking the chances of these ever leaking is pretty much slim to none considering how much resin is on this. But you also will never be able to open this again. Thanks so much for watching. I do put out at least one new video every week, so please do subscribe and let me know how you like this, good or bad. Any suggestions, anything you want to see me make next, please comment. Thanks for watching.